Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you are. I am in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and maybe I'll be here for another month, not sure. Okay. So, hi to everybody. I see 3 of you, although I see many that have joined, but I only see 3 up here. And so today's topic is, I put on the live stream, I put South African coloureds, but actually the topic is coloureds are not African, because there are some people, and especially this one person, who kept telling me that coloureds are not African. Now, for those of you who follow me, you know that I have a big issue with the South African educational system. And this is a perfect example of why people would think like this. They think like this because I don't think they are getting taught South African history in school. I don't think they are being taught genetics. When I was at school, genetics, I was in standard 9, which means I was 16 when we started learning about it. South African history started already in primary school. Okay, and even during the apartheid, they taught us where coloureds originate from. Somehow that they didn't hide. Okay. AI says Afrikaans migration discussion. No, AI, we finished already. Now we're on the coloured topic. Okay. Hi, everybody, and thanks for the likes. Thanks for the likes. Yeah, so I'm blaming, or either these people who think like this, maybe they've not matriculated, because people who come on my live stream or on my feed, they have to be 18 and above. So I think they didn't pass high school. They didn't matriculate because they don't know. They don't know the history of South Africa. They didn't learn genetics. And then also, if you are a colored person and you don't know your origin and your history, then, I mean, that's on your parents, on your community, on colored people for not putting you straight, okay? Right, so Letsuka's son says coloureds are a mixed race. I believe that they are African because of the dominant black gene. Yeah, no, that's not the reason why they are coloured. Okay, so let me first read what this person said. Okay, now just to begin with, because people always ask me, what are you? Which is like so weird. So I actually going to make myself a t-shirt that will say, I am coloured. And then I put ka-ching, because I think every time I have to say I am coloured, I need to get paid, because I'm sure I'll make a lot of money. Okay, I am coloured. Let's just get it out there. Okay. And okay, so I'm going to read what this person said. This person said to me, you are maybe a South African, but you're not African. There is a difference. Okay, this is after I told them I'm coloured. Okay, so they said I am not African, but I'm South African as a coloured. And then the other one said, because then this person asked me what is my ancestry, and I told them. So then this person said, coloured is not a race. Okay, wait. Okay, the first one said, let me write here. First one said, coloured, if you're coloured, you're not African, right? Not African. And I'm South African, coloured, but I'm not African. Then the next one said, coloured is not a race. It's a culture. Okay, they say it's a culture. And I don't think your grandparent father was Indian. Okay, because my grandfather is mixed Indian. Okay, so this person doesn't think my grandfather's Indian, because of course they would know my grandfather. I don't know my grandfather, but somehow they do. Okay, you know, life is like that. Okay, and why I am not Indian is because this person says Indians have black hair and a white, I don't know what's whitey, an Indian baby will definitely look Indian. Okay, so, right, so this is what this person said. So, obviously, as far as I'm concerned, either this person did not attend high school, because, I mean, I don't know this person, just based on what I'm reading here. Okay, because normally this is things you learn in high school, isn't it? Okay, first thing, maybe the South African education system is not teaching all these things. Because to know this, you must know the history of South Africa. You must know genetics, how it works, and you must know the history of colored people specifically. Okay, so it could be the educational system, or it could be that this is in the educational system, but this person didn't learn it because this person maybe didn't attend high school, or this person maybe did not graduate from high school. They didn't matriculate, or this person is probably from another country, so they did not learn about Coloureds properly, and they just heard from people, and so this is what they are saying. Okay, like I said, it could be anything, but I'm just saying those are probably what it is. Okay, so are we ready for the lesson? I see there's many of you here. Hi, there's many, but I only see 3. That's very weird. Okay, so anyway, you can talk to me here. If later you want to come into the box, you can come into the box and talk to me. Just remember, when you are in the box, you need to stay on point, because today I'm going to mute people. Okay? Hi. I will mute people. Okay? Because sometimes it gets too out of hand. Hey, hi. I see all the regulars. How are you? I don't know how to pronounce your name. Goge. Hi. Okay, so what is a colored? Okay, let's address what this person said. So first, this person said, you are South African. You may be South African, but you're not African. There's a difference. And true, because some people in South Africa, they have South African citizenship, but they're not African. Like example, Indians, they're already filtering comments to protect the community experience. You people are again very early rude. Huh? I don't know why this always happens on my channel. I don't see people being rude on other people's channels. Hi, everybody. Okay, so as I was saying, yes, there are some people who are South African citizens, but they are not African, like Indians, Chinese, white people. Although I'm gonna get into trouble for saying they're not African, because they think they're African, but we know they're not African. Okay, we know. Okay, right. So they're not African. Coloureds are African. The reason they are African is because they are homegrown. Okay, homegrown. I'll get to homegrown later. So let's see what is a colored. I'm sure some of you already know. I'm glad to get hold of you today. I've been missing you. Oh, thank you. Yes, good day to you as well. Good day to you as well. Okay, so what is a Cape colored? Because normally colored is just how we speak, but when you, like, I don't know, on my birth certificate, it says Cape colored, okay? I don't know if you young people still get birth certificates, but I have a birth certificate. I have a birth certificate and a book of life, and the new ID, and a passport, okay? Right, so what is Cape colored? Cape Coloureds, Afrikaans, it's Kaapse Kleurling, is a South African group of colored people who are from the Cape region in South Africa, which consists of Western Cape, Northern Cape, and the Eastern Cape. Their ancestry comes from the interracial mixing between the whites, the indigenous Khoi and San. Hi. So already when they say Khoi and San, that means your ancestor is African, right? So the African link is already there. Khoi and San. And Xhosa. Again, African. But note well, not all Coloureds have Xhosa, but all Coloureds must have Khoi or San and white. Okay? So they have Khoi and San, some also have Xhosa, plus other Bantu people. And also indentured laborers imported from the British Raj. Slaves imported from the Dutch East Indies. So the Dutch East Indies was like Malaya and Java. Immigrants from the Levant. The Levant is, the area, where's that? All the Persian, the stuff, okay? And Yemen. And some as a combination of all. Okay? So have many videos about this. Please just go and watch it. It's on my YouTube. It's also on, some of it is on TikTok. Because colors are so mixed. But you have to, your first mixture must be koi and san and white. And the white is normally Dutch. Okay? Because the Dutch came to Cape. Okay? Others will have British, because the British colonized later. But if you do British, you must have koi and san. Koi or san to be colored. Even if you only have white koi, you're already colored. White san, you're already colored. And then whatever other mixtures come in, it doesn't matter. They're just adding flavor to you. That's all. But you are colored. And because you are homegrown, which means, although one of your ancestors came from somewhere else, the other one was already here. That person is already African. So when they mix, you are African. But because your other ancestor comes from Europe, you can then also claim your European identity. This is the beauty, I've said this many times, of being colored, because you are mixed. If you know your mixes, you've got proof, you can go and claim your Dutch side, you can claim your koi, you can claim your san, you can claim your Javanese, whatever mix you are, Indian, it doesn't matter. You are every single one of those things. Now, I know there's some colors that will be like, I'm not black. I don't have any black in me. And even if I have, it's only 5%, so I'm not black. It doesn't matter, you are still black. You are still of black descent. Doesn't matter how white you are. Let's get that into our little heads, colors. Get it into your head, okay? It doesn't matter what the percentage, it does not matter. You are what is in your genes, okay? And don't let some TikToking idiot come and tell you you are not African, because that person is an idiot. Okay, idiot means someone that's stupid and doesn't have knowledge. Okay, what are you watching? You're watching me explain that Coloureds are African, because some people somehow did not go to school. They did not learn this. Okay, it doesn't matter your percentage. Coloureds are homegrown. And the reason all this denial of coloured people is because the Coloureds themselves, because they themselves don't know what they are. And get your panties in a little knot. Oh, she said I don't know what I am. Oh, how dare she? Oh, sing jy vir haar. Sy praat mos nou lekker noens en kyk wit jy. No, you don't know. You don't know. A lot of you don't know. And then you want to get angry with me. I know what I am. I know what I am because I did my DNA test. Okay, I had my DNA match. So, why Coloureds are like this? Because there'll be some Coloureds, like I said early on, they just want to be white. They identify with being, they only identify with their white part of their DNA. Totally ignoring their other family members. Only looking at that one that's white. Oh, I'm white. There's others that are only looking at the koi. Not noticing that, yes, they also have Xhosa, or maybe they have Pedi, and maybe they also have Javanese, and they also have Dutch. No. They're not looking at that. They're only identifying with their koi. Others only identify with their black. We are black. I am black. Not, yes, exactly. They are ashamed of their ancestors. Exactly. So they ignore that. Then there's others who only identify with their Malay, their Javanese side. Okay? All of them do that. Then there's others like me. I embrace all my ancestors. All. Because they are my family. If you put my mother here, my father here, and you put my mother's mother and father and my father's mother and father, they are all different. Why should I deny that one just because that one is more black? Like, oh, I don't want to talk about my grandfather because my grandfather's black. No, I embrace that part of me. Then my father is very Afrikaner, very Dutch. Oh, I must ignore that. He's also Palestinian. Well, now Israel. I also don't know what's going on. What was the story today with them? Anyway, now I must like, oh, no. I'm ignoring that part. And then my grandmother is Khoi and Dutch. Oh, no, I don't want to be Khoi. Oh, no, it doesn't. I embrace all of them because I am not ashamed of my ancestors. Not at all. I embrace all of them. And my other grandfather is Indian mix. Okay? And African from Ethiopia, because his grandfather was brought as a slave from Ethiopia to Mauritius. And while he was there, he got a child from an Indian woman. And then that Indian woman got a child. She married a French guy, and then they had my grandfather. And my grandfather came out blue-black. He was black. You know that black when you blue. You think I should deny him? I can't, because he's in our photos. People ask, who's that? Oh, that's our slave. No, that's my grandfather. Why do why are we ashamed of our ancestors? Yes, the Coloureds are very racist, and not even just to other races, to each other. Because Coloureds also, because we're so mixed, we look different. Again, because that is genetics. That's why I say if you didn't go to high school, or the educational system is not teaching genetics, you learn this. I learned this when I was 16. Okay, standard 9 that time. Where we learn genetics. Genetics will teach you how, when you mix things, how they can be, if you mix these two, because they mix, by the time it gets here, this will look like this and this. We had to use, roses to show how you make a pink rose. Because a pink rose is not natural. You have to mix white with red to make a pink rose, okay? And so what happens is with colored people, that's why some coloreds look very white. They've got straight hair with green eyes and very sharp features. Some white, but look like me, but with crus hair, and then some got the big nose, but they're white. Everything is white, but the features are not white. The hair is not white. Others look totally Indian, but they've got blue eyes. Okay, always beautiful people, right? Because very mixed. So like when she says, oh, Indians have black hair. But if you mixed, you might not get the black hair. Right? You might get some other color hair because you are mixed. And even in your family, you might have the black Indian hair, and then your brother has the black hair. And then the other sister has the Javanese eyes that go like this. But you are one family. It's because of how you mix. And the other one will be like totally white with blue eyes, but flat features. It's because you are mixed. And then also that's a stupid comment. Oh, Indians have black hair. And yeah, some coloreds, they want to call themselves colored. But you look at them, they got blonde hair and their hair is straight. It's like, hello? Have you ever heard of flat ironing? You'll see that colored girl. You'll see the steam coming up to get that hair flat ironed. She will not go out in the rain. That's why coloreds, you can go into a disco with one hairstyle, you'll come out with a different hairstyle. Straight hair to go in. Few dancers come out. Cross. Which ancestors are you referring? Whatever ancestor. But to be colored, you must have Khoi or San and Dutch. Or British if it's later. But the original, you have to have Dutch. Okay? That's why we call it coloreds, because we are all colors and all textures. Okay? All colors. You get a color that's blue-black, and then you get a color that's white with, like my brother, with the white eyebrows. Like the eyelashes are also white. And then you get my other brother that looks like an Indian. He's not blue-black, but he's an Indian. That Indian dark. Because we are mixed. Okay? Colors are mixed. And then texture. We are people of color and texture. And hopefully substance. Color and texture. I was asking DNA. What do you mean? What were you asking? Which ancestors are you referring? Which DNA? Yeah, that's why I said Khoi, San, Dutch, Javanese. It depends what your mix is. Xhosa, some are Xhosa, some are Pedi mix, some are Zulu mix, some are like my mix is Ethiopian black. Okay, everyone is different. It depends where you're in. Because remember, people came as slaves here. People came as settlers. Others were already here. And people intermingled. And now even worse. Now that there's no apartheid, it's like a mix-up thing. I saw a Chinese with a black woman, and the child looked like some other person's child. The child didn't even look like either of them. Looked like they kidnapped the child. Yes. Not just their black lineage. Some don't want to associate with their white lineage. I've seen all these that are Khoi. Oh, we are Khoi. Khoi, but they forgot that they are also Dutch. They forgot that they probably also some Bantu. Look at the Malays, the Cape Malays. Never say they black. Never say they white. Never. And they like the most white looking of most of the Coloureds. Oh, never. Never. That's why I say Coloureds are confused. And then because they confuse everybody else. Because they don't make an effort to learn who they are. And other people also just listen what they say. And then that's why people, you must please go back to school. At school they have, well, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what the educational system is like now. Okay, yeah, you can send me a message, Dr. I don't know how to say, Prenziba. Send me a message and then we can talk. AI says I'm talking about colored identity discussion. Okay, I see someone wanting to come in here. Let me just talk a little bit more and then I will bring you into the box, okay? No, that's not true. If anyone is still trying to figure out who the Khoisan are, just look at their hair. No, I already said it's got nothing to do with that. It's got nothing to do. All Coloureds have Khoi or San, but we all have different types of hair because it depends on who else you are mixed with. And Coloureds, we are lucky. We can have our hair straight because, like I said, we can flat iron it. We can straighten it. We can leave it to be crus. We can do whatever we want because we are people of texture. Okay, so you cannot go by the hair. You cannot go by the hair. Like my sister, people would never know that her hair cannot do this. Her hair is dead straight. Mine, they see dead straight and then they shock when I do it like this because I'm not flat ironing it. Okay? And there's no straightener in it. Color as well. These days, you know, we've got all kind of hair dyes. Some Coloureds have blue hair. They got pink hair. So you cannot say, oh, Colored should have black hair. No. I've even seen black women walking around with dead Indians' hair on their heads. Isn't it all that hair extensions? That's some dead Indian there. They took their hair and put it on their heads. So who's to say? People wear wigs. People do many things. Because 2025, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, hair doesn't tell you who you are. You know, I don't know if you know the actress Nicole Kidman. Like Nicole Kidman's hair is now straight. If you look at her hair when she was young, it was like mine. Because she's Aborigine mix. But it doesn't matter. Because she identifies as white. Because she's mixed. She can identify as whatever she wants to. Because, I mean, if she had to identify as Aborigine, it would be like strange. Because sometimes you have to go with what you look like. You know, because otherwise it's just strange. Okay? Like if you like completely... totally black looking and then you identify with your Dutch settler side. It's like weird. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, you can, but it's just weird. Okay? Then you don't know history. What is this? Are you all talking to each other? Okay, they're talking to each other. Oh, yes, the original Khoi. Yes, they have the very knek hair. Yes, the very original Khoi. Yes, even their hair is even more curly than the black, like the Xhosas or even the Pedis and the Zulus. Yes, their hair is really like, yes. But then their skin, they have a brown skin with a red tint, a red undertone. That's why the last time I spoke, I explained to people, if you're a makeup artist, if you do makeup, you have to learn, because people have one complexion and then you have an undertone. Like maybe you have brown complexion, but you have a red undertone. So like the Khoi people, the San, especially the San, and the Khoi not so much, the San people, they have that red undertone. Okay? Some people, see like me, like I have like light brown, like olive, but then I have a pink undertone. Okay, everyone is, it's the, when you go for to do your makeup, they will tell you what your undertone is. Okay, and then they will do the foundation according. Okay. Someone said, do black people have long silky hair? They do, but it's usually because it's some dead Indian's hair that they have on their head. It's a wig or a weave. Okay, I don't look at people by their hair or color. That doesn't matter. What does matter is how. Then he says, have you ever seen coloureds with African hair? But they, yes, my brother. My brother's, in Namibia, you can see a lot. They're white with blue eyes, but the hara is crus. Especially those from Namakwa land. A lot of my friends are like that. And my brother also. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so don't, because it's just common sense, people. You have to think. That's why I say this, you will only understand if you have matriculated or if you read a lot and you understand how genetics work. If you mix paint. If you're a painter and you know how to mix paint. Okay, or if you, thank you, or if you're a horticulturist or botanist, if you understand how to grow plants, how to mix, okay? Or even if you breed animals, because if you mix a white cat with a black cat, some of them will only be white, some of them will only be black, some will be white with one black patch, some will be black with white patches, because that is how it mixes. So humans are the same, okay? So just remember, that's why we are called coloureds, because we are every color. And we even change color according to season. In the winter, we are much lighter. In the summer, we can be very dark. We're all shades. Okay? Right. So, and the main thing is coloureds are African. Okay? Because where do Khoi people come from? Our ancestors. Where do San people come from? Let me see if you'll know here in the chat. No, coloureds are not two races. Coloureds are many races. Many. Africa, yes, thank you. Khoi and San are from Africa. So if your ancestor is Khoi and San, then you are African. Okay? But if your ancestor is Dutch, then you are also European. But you are more African because you were also grown. You were made in Africa, literally. Okay, you were made in Africa. The Khoi woman didn't go to Europe and make you there, or the San woman, no. She stayed in her village and she got pregnated in her village, and you came from the soil of the land. Okay? So don't get confused. But let me tell you who is confused. Our government is confused. And I'll tell you why he's confused. Oh, and if you don't know where I get this information from, you can just Google it. You know, I know a lot of you, like the same person who spoke to me about you not colored, you not African, allergic to Google. Because Google is all fake. People, Google is just a search engine. When you search for something, you must look for, like me, I used to be at New York University, NYU. So because I'm alumni, I still have access to the library. So if I look for really serious stuff, I will go on Google and then I will access the library of NYU. So I am actually in their library. So the information I'm taking is from a book in their library. Okay, so it's not fake, because those normally books in university libraries have already been verified and authenticated. Okay. Yes, a lot of us have different things in our bloodline. Even white people. Someone was saying, oh, now white people are also saying they are Khoi and San. I'm sure there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them that have some Khoi or San in their DNA. I'm sure of that. I'm sure it's just that when they were registered, you know, the people looked and said, okay, you white. Because they look more white. But if you actually had to do DNA tests, I'm sure there's some Khoi or San there. I'm sure maybe there's even some black there. Okay? Because we don't know. Because before we just used to go by looking at people. Now we are more advanced. Now we're looking at DNA. And we cannot run away from this. Because we are now in the future. Okay? Those days when you can just talk rubbish are long gone. You cannot just look at some, oh, but you don't look Khoi. It's got nothing to do with what I look like. You have to look in my DNA. It's very different. Okay? The days when we were ignorant are long gone. Okay, so somebody who was also very confused, and I think he's a foreigner because I think this is a document that he has to fill out for, I don't know if it's for DIRCO, I don't know who this is for because I didn't screenshot the whole thing. But in this document, this is from our South African government, okay? Because you know we have racial classification, right? And our racial classification used to be black, white, colored, Indian, and then others, okay? Now, listen how they classify now. They have African, white, colored, Indian. So you see, that's where the problem comes in. Because a lot of people have not studied, so they don't know. Our South African government, something is not right. Why are they saying African? Because African is not a race. Okay? African is your continent of descent. Like which continent? Like you can be Australian. Because that's a continent. You can be South American. You can be North American. You are North American and then you're Canadian. You are South American and then you are Peruvian. Okay? So that is not right. Okay, someone here says, I'm Italian, Portuguese. Well, if you're Italian and Portuguese, that means you are just European. Because we're talking of descent. That's why I'm saying African is the continent you descend from. So Italian and Portuguese, you are descendant of Europe. So that means you are white. Okay? Right. Unless you have black and then you are colored, or if you're Khoi, I don't know. Okay? Right. So this is where the Oranje lady. I like that. Yeah. So this is where I can see, you see, we want to talk about corruption in our government. You see how corrupt they are. Because what they are doing here now, they want us to have this fighting. They want this fighting. The apartheid government did the same thing. Because now this person, African, he thinks, oh, I'm black, which means I'm African. And then he sees white. Obviously, white is not African because they're European. Indian, obviously not because they're Indian. But then why is colored not under African? Because what are they trying to do there? Why are they saying coloreds are not African? And why are they saying African? Why are they not saying black? Because black is the race. Because this is race. This is not where you... Because if they were talking about where you descend from, right? Then it should be African, European, Indian. That's how it should then be. So again, maybe our people in the government, or maybe they can't speak English, which I have noticed is also another thing. Genetics is one thing that we can't do, and English. English is another thing that's a big issue for me, because I've noticed a lot of you cannot speak English. That's why you all don't understand what non-white means, or just what non means. Because you don't learn it in school. I remember learning that. I was in primary school, I think, or at 13 when I learned about prefixes and how you use a prefix. Which is a disgrace because the language of our politics and economy is English. So you have to know it. Yeah, okay. Coffee Becky, that's off. It's off topic. DNA, that's off topic. Yes, The government wants to divide us all. That I'm thinking that's where that's going. You are right. This person says you were very sharp at school. That's what I always picked up about you. Oh, this is someone that knows me. Me? Are you talking about me? Dr. Prinziba? DNA, not all think like that. Does Dr. Prinziba know me, or is he talking to somebody else? Okay, there was someone who wanted to come in just now. Sorry, I took too long, but never mind. If anyone wants to come into the box to maybe further just talk about this, tell me what nonsense I'm talking. Yes, because I follow you and I listen to you most of your life. Oh, you were not at school with me? No, you just because you follow me, is it, Dr. Prinziba? Just because you follow me. Oh, I was very clever at school. In fact, I think I was the cleverest. Every year I was the cleverest. Like for my standard. You follow me, yes, or you know me from school, yes? No, please follow me. Dr. Prinziba, you follow me, yes, or you know me from school, yes? Let me see if I can. Okay, I accept. I accept Dr. Prinziba.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing fine. No, I cannot be with you in school because
Oh,
I would have been behind. Because I remember when you were listing the number of your books that you have. You said you had a book of life, something like that.
oh yeah,
And
I'm very old, yeah.
by that time I was still young.
Yes.
Nevertheless, yeah, I meant to say I follow you and I also listen to your videos.
Oh, okay.
I'm based here in Johannesburg. I'm from Cape Town. You are right what you are saying. I remember yesterday I was there by Pick and Pay. I'm not gonna mention where I was, but I'm chatting with these colored ladies from. He said it's from. She works for Pick and Pay. She said she's from Eldorado Park. She said, "You guys, you are racist in Cape Town because if I have a hurry like I have, they will say no, you are a doggy, but trapped in a what to call. I can't remember what she said. It was yesterday. I was buying some milk.
Mm-mm.
So you write according to different. For instance, I knew exactly what you were saying because the Cape colored people, they kind of like they are able to say, that one is from maybe Northern Cape, that one is from Gauteng. So
Mm-mm.
it would have informed by what you are saying because I remember the gentleman I also work with the department I'm in. He looks like an Indian, and I remember we had a discussion about that. He said his roots are Cape Malay. I don't know where is that place, but he
Yes,
said
yeah, yes.
he, yes, his forefathers, Oscar, he used to tell me that, and he looks like Indian, but he's not an Indian.
Yeah, yeah.
And then also around there, Cape Town, you get the other colors from Beaufort West. Some you see those other colors, they look like more white in terms of their hari. So they would have been that discriminating, not discriminating, but differentiating amongst themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, coloureds do
Yeah.
that. We also do it with language. Those who speak English are supposed to be more like higher, and those who speak
Yes.
Afrikaans are lower. Like me, because my original my mother tongue is Afrikaans.
Well,
Yeah, it's Afrikaans. English is my second language.
well. Okay, but you based here in Joburg.
I'm based in Joburg. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm from Johannesburg.
Well, so indeed, madam, as you are saying, these differences because you would have seen that others they've got genes of the Indians, and
Yes.
if you remember, the Indians they've been around for a very long time, but they speak Afrikaans.
Yeah.
I remember I was on TikTok. I also saw this other lady. She's based in LA, but her roots are from Durban, but also from Cape Town.
Right.
You see, and when you look at her, she looks like more Indian.
Right. Yes.
So yes, and but at the end of the day, she is a colored.
Yes.
She's a colored.
Yes, because like I say,
You
as
see?
long as you have the European and the Sun or the Khoi, you are already colored. I like what Al is saying here. Al says Cape Coloreds need to go through colonial liberation of their own.
Yeah, because they always say, discriminate each other. They say, I don't, that one is from, you are the colored from Gauteng or wherever, those
Yes,
far places.
yes.
So for instance, I'm a Xhosa.
Okay,
Yes, but according to the recent, the recent discovery, I will show you some pictures. We are told that my clan are coming from the
okay.
Khoi side.
Yes, yes. A lot of
We are
Xhosas. Yes, yes,
related to them.
yes. That's true.
So
That is so true.
I even have a recent picture when I came here. Okay, no, I think it was last year, early. There was a meeting, there was a Khoi king, whatsoever, that guy. We took a picture with them. Even I have picture for that guy. So these guys are able to tell us our history that we are from those guys.
Yeah, yeah.
You
It's
see?
true. It's true.
It's so funny.
It's very true.
Yeah, no. I just wanted to have my little a bit of my input on
But
this, to say that indeed I do relate with what you are saying.
thank you for your input because I see we have Tyrone as well. Tyrone, you want to come in?
Okay, thank you, man.
Thank you, Dr. Prinziba.
Yeah, guys. Good
Hi,
afternoon.
Tyrone.
You see, I've noticed over the years how our colors act in South Africa, especially Western Cape colored, and then you get me that's an Eastern Cape colored, right? You can see I'm like dark of complexion, and our people. I don't think our people know that Khoi and Sen were brown people, that
Mm,
their skin were light, and they still think that they don't even know that Khoi people are literally light of complexion. Because now you get my mother, right? My great grand, and I still I'm gonna open a video. I'm gonna show the papers of my great grandfather.
okay.
Everything of the properties and all of that purchased in 1892. Purchased
Mm-mm-mm.
in 1892. That is now from my mother's side. They are pure Khoisan. Now
Mm-hmm.
my grandfather is now the black man.
Right,
Now
right.
my grandfather is the African man. Now you get my father's side from the Cape Town, right? My
Okay.
father is pure colored. Now you get my grandfather from my father's side that is Indian.
Right.
And my
Yeah,
grandmother
yeah.
from my father's side. It is and it is and some colors, some I always say some colors are the descendants of Koyan Sen women.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about the men because the Khoi men they were
Yeah. No, not
totally
men. Not we
system.
all from the women.
They
Yeah, the men were not involved in it.
Yes, they were systematically removed like in
Yes.
the early 1650s already. We know that. Okay, I'm not going to say we know it. Some of us know it because of they were resistant. They were the
Mm-hmm.
warriors. They were the fighters. The colonizers didn't want them. They were massacred. They
Mm-hmm.
were
Mm-hmm.
hunted and they were unalived. We know that. But like most, I'm going to speak about the Eastern
Okay.
Cape Coloureds, where most of Eastern Cape Coloureds are dark of complexion, where they speak
Mm-hmm.
fluently Afrikaans, and then you get I know the Western Cape like the palm of my hand because we loved Bella. Now you get the Western Cape Coloureds that don't want to be associated with us because we don't have the hair, we don't have the skin,
Hair and
because
complexion.
they think they are the original colors. They really think they the original colors because they the more beautiful type. But
Mm.
if you speak to them and you hear what they say and how they speak, they don't understand English. They're
Mm.
not educated when it comes to
Mm.
these things, and they
Mm.
still argue with us
Mm.
until today. Us that know it, but now you get the thing where how we were moved, because in the late 1700s, especially in the eastern northern Cape, right, the Khoi men, they were actively hunted.
Right.
In the farmers and poor whites, these people were given livestock for them to be unalived. But how they moved to the Eastern Cape, that is the thing. The,
Okay.
the most history is silent about it because it was no accident instead of colonial records, a reflection the timing of it. But nothing of that. I don't even want to speak of that. They were the Alcoy men. They were the myth to peaceful colonization. Instead, white people created a new category called colored when they were wiped out. Category that erased the violent origins of the lineages and was replaced with an idea of mixing. When
Right.
when we ask where the Khoisan men, the answer is simple. Many of them were unalived. So what happened to the ones that were not unalived and that escaped that time? When most were wiped out. Some went into the Cederberg in Namibia and Richtersveld, Kalahari.
Right.
These group, they lived as semi-nomadic and maintained the traditional hunting lifestyles. Many of the descendants were later rediscovered by missionaries and they labeled them as the last Bushmen.
Right.
Some Khoimen, especially after the resistant wars and colonial massacres, they were hiding in neighboring Nguni speaking communities. That is the Amatkosas, right?
Right.
And the
Right. Yeah.
Khoimen and the Khoimen intermarried and their descendants, that is like me, like the dark apart emigrated, it became a clan, especially in the Eastern Cape. This is why
Right.
you will find Amadkosa with surnames that has Khoisan ancestry and
Right.
cultural practices that reflects these Khoi influences of Khoi men. And they decide to work with the colonizers. So the identities were erased as Khoisan. The identities were erased as
Just
Khoisan, but the colored name was created. And
Mm-hmm.
people don't understand this.
Mm-hmm.
Our
Right.
people really, like you said, Celeste, our people really need to go back to school. And I think they need to make this a subject. So
Yes.
when you get to matric and people from abroad ask you, then you won't sit there with a closed mouth and like, no, but no, I'm not. Don't call me African because my grandmother was China and my grandfather's Indian, and that is why I look like this. Our people are really uneducated. I'm
Very.
sorry to say this.
No, but it's the
I'm
truth, and
sorry
then
to
they
say
get
it.
angry with me when I tell them. But it's just the truth. It's just facts. Because I know when I ask them, I mean, if you look on my
In the
TikTok, if you
US,
look at
both
how they comment.
countries working the phones, calls from restraint from
Oh,
China
wait,
and
why is there?
Russia,
Yes, someone. I'm
and
putting off the microphone. I'm putting off your microphone. Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, you just look at the comments in my comment section. It's ridiculous. That our people don't know. But I'm starting I'm gonna be teaching like with my lives like this. I'm gonna be teaching things like this about history of our people. I want to do English lessons, things like that. I'm working on a curriculum for that because I think it's high
And
time.
and and the Muslim and most Muslim Malay slaves that got their freedom, they married into white people.
Mm-hmm.
And our people need to understand, and that's how the hair comes. That's why they have such nice hair, and
But
that's
but
why
the
colored.
No, but also because they are Javanese and Malayans, they have that kind of hair. Because I'm married to a Malaysian, and my husband's hair is straight, and sometimes it's long up to here. It's dead straight. Yeah, they have that kind of hair. They inherited that from their. Although the Javanese is not that straight, it's a little bit more wavy, but it's still straight. But I think my husband's hair is straight because he's also half Chinese. Anyway, that's another story. Yeah, no, but they inherited the Cape Malays. They inherited the hair from their Javanese and Malayan side. But also, you must know, back in the day during the apartheid, because the Boer are not that clever, and when the because we also had people who came like from the Levant, like people who came like from uh, Persia, like Iran, Iraq,
Yeah.
those. And
Yes.
just because they were Muslim, even with the Indians, just because they were Muslim, they were classed as Cape Malay. You know, just because they're
Yes.
Muslim. And that is why then these Muslims married other Malays. And you know, Persians are like, they're white, they're Caucasian. So obviously, you know, you put the Persian with the Iranian, now the Iranian, that time was Persian. You put Iranian with a Cape Malay, then the child will look more,
Yeah.
yeah, you know, or with the Indian. That's why you see Indians, especially in Joburg, not the Durban Indians. The Indians in Johannesburg are all very white looking because they mixed a
I've
lot
seen
also with the
that.
Persians. Because that time is if you were Muslim, then they just put you as all same, either you Indian or you Malay. It was
And
not a
and and
different
and, and
category.
and our people is not proud because
No.
we are the first inhabitants of South Africa and one of the earliest distinct groups. You have to imagine if people ask me and I tell them, listen here, no, I'm not that type of people. My grandfather's this and my grandmother's this, so don't class me like that. And I really don't understand. We are the distinct group of home sapiens,
Yes, we are
guys.
homegrown,
Really,
homegrown. Yes,
homegrown. That's why I'm saying we are the homegrown, and our people don't endure this. They don't. They
no,
shy, and
yeah,
yesterday it's really a pity,
yeah.
really.
But that is why I'm doing this because people need to wake up. That's why I said in my one video, I said, Coloureds don't know who they are. Oh no,